sign in order to do so. If you plan to speak, sign in, please. And we'll get started here in just a moment. And speakers, these speakers will have a three-minute limit that we've done for years. So Mr. Trump normally keeps that time, and he'll probably give you a 15-second warning if necessary. So with that, it is the hit the gavel. Everybody will stand, please. We'll conduct the Pledge of Allegiance at this time. It is Flag Day, yeah.
Yes, sir.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Councilman Sofer reminded us all that today is Flag Day, so very appropriate.
I know it's okay. There's some tongue twisting going on. That's my speaker.
Okay, we'll come to order. And the first order of business is the reading and approval of the minutes from the regular council meeting dated May 24th, 2022.
Mayor, I move to accept the minutes as we've received them.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as received. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by a like sign, that motion carries. Next is the reading and approval of the minutes from the workshop dated June 7th. That was a workshop during which we discussed about 5 topics. And don't recall what they all were. I think the official city poem, discussed somewhat the city manager form of government, a couple other things. But anyhow, that was our workshop topic. So I would entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and second to approve the minutes of the special workshop on June 7th. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by a like sign, that motion carries. Thank you. Next, award of bid for park equipment and installation for Freedom Park. Mrs. Hunter, do you have those numbers?
I do have those. For the Scott Avenue Park installation, there were 2 companies that gave us bids. The street reconstruction of Washington, Nebraska, 9th and 10th.
Freedom's the one on the bottom.
I always do that. I'm so excited to share this. Freedom Park is first. So we had one, Game Time. Well, we had 2, Game Time and Radford. We're required to accept the lowest bid, CDBG money, Community Development Block Grant money. And the total is $249,999.56, and that is a motion to accept that bid. They've met all of the specs.
Okay, we have a motion and second to accept the CBD funded bid as presented. All in favor indicate, any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed by a like sign, that motion carries. Thank you. Next, award of bid for the reconstruction of Nebraska, Washington, and 9th and 10th Streets.
We did have 2 companies, Court Street Construction and Radford. As per,
Southern West
Southern
Virginia.
West Virginia
Paving
paving.
asphalt.
wait a minute,
That's the second
9th
one.
and 10th, well, see, that's up there too, so that can be confusing, okay. All right, very good. Southern West Virginia Paving and Asphalt Construction and Site Work. One came in at $237,500, and that is Southern West Virginia Paving, and that is a motion to accept that. Angela King went through all of the bid specs, and they met all of the requirements, so that is a motion to accept Southern West Virginia Paving for $237,500.
Is that for Nebraska only, or is that all?
Washington,
That's all.
9th and 10th.
Okay, very good. Okay, we have motion and a second. Any discussion on the bids to reconstruct the streets?
Was this CDB?
CDBG,
Thank you.
it is,
All
yes,
4 of these are,
Right, that's what I thought.
and we're required to,
except
the
the
lowest
lowest
bid,
bid,
yeah.
as long as they meet specs.
Gotcha. Okay, we have the motion and second to reconstruct the 4 streets as described. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by a like sign. That motion carries.
Okay.
Last, award the bid for the paving of the basketball court at Scott Avenue Park.
Okay. We did have 2 bids, Southern West Virginia Paving and Exterior Services. As required by law, we have a $55,800. Angela King went through everything. It met all specs. And that is a motion to accept Southern West Virginia Paving for $55,800.
So moved.
Okay,
Seconded.
Very good. We have a motion and a second to accept the bid for the paving of the basketball court at Scott Avenue Park as presented. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed by a like sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Next, award the bid for the installation of recreation equipment, poured in place rubber servicing and fencing at Scott Avenue Park.
This is the last one remaining. So we had 2 bids, Court Street Construction, $250,000, and it met all the specs, and that is a motion to accept Court Street Construction.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to accept the bids as presented by Ms. Hunter for the Scott Avenue Park, rubber surfacing and fencing. On any discussion?
There was a second bid too, it looks like, from Radford and Radford.
There was,
Okay.
there was.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by a like sign, that motion carries. Next, first reading of the ordinance, amending Chapter 13, taxes, business license, and regulations. Mr. Fowle?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, tonight will be the first reading of an ordinance. If passed tonight, on June 28th, we will have second reading and a public hearing. And what this ordinance primarily does is it standardizes the business license fee. Jessica Chandler is here. She is our city controller. She has worked hard in reviewing Chapter 13, which is the chapter that regulates business licenses. The chapter is about 42 pages long. I haven't given each one of you a copy. If you like a copy, we have it. But we basically restated most of the chapter, but we have standardized the fee to $15. It will be an annual fee, and we will expect anyone conducting business in the city basically to pay that fee annually. I will read this ordinance by title tonight, and this ordinance is titled Ordinance Revising and Amending City of Beckley Code Chapter 13, standardizing the city's annual business license fee and updating related sections. Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. Fowle. That's 42 pages of some good nighttime reading there. I can't wait to tear into it. Okay, do we have a motion to approve the revisions as described by Mr. Fowle?
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second? Motion second. Any discussion? All in favor of the change in the ordinance or amending the ordinance as presented by Mr. Fowle, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by a like sign, that motion carries. Okay, we're down to old business. Anything from any member of council under old business?
Is there any updates on fruits of labor?
Yeah, fruits of labor, boy, the amount of equipment that they've moved in this past week is unbelievable. They've really, it was remarkable. And the gentlemen who were in charge of installing the different stoves and refrigeration equipment, et cetera, they've done a beautiful job. Mr. Trump and I dropped in to check on things, but it's really looking like a restaurant. They also brought with them a number of chairs and tables. And Billy, do we have a firm date? Would you say, what, a couple weeks, a minimum? Or?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I talked to Tammy, and she said it just depends on installation.
Right.
And getting everything installed, and it appears, it's, with all that equipment, it appears to be kind of a daunting task to get it all put together in the right places and everything.
Right.
And get the final inspection, so I'm positive I don't know when.
Can't ask for more than that. But it is, it's a real kitchen. My goodness, it's just unbelievable. Anything else from any member of council under old business? Anything from any member of council under new business?
See, Mayor, I have something. Juneteenth, celebration will be this weekend, the 18th and 19th. On the 18th, it will start at Hunter Cemetery at 11 o'clock. And then we'll go down to New River Park, so it'll be from 11 to 3 on Saturday, June the 18th. And then on June the 19th, from 3 to 5 at the Beckley Women's Clubhouse there on Park Avenue.
Nice.
And Tina Pennell is the coordinator of all the events.
Talked to Tina several times, and I do have a proclamation. that I
Right,
hope to-
okay.
Hope to deliver on Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
To dovetail
Thank
on
you.
that, they've closed the courthouse in most of our state,
Yeah, I saw that.
which most folks don't know that. I'm sure they'll all be showing up for their arraignments, but
Right.
the courthouse is also closed down this Friday and Monday.
Yeah,
so,
I did see that. Thank
in-
you.
in-
Thanks to Governor Justice for
indeed.
Mayor, I have an update. On the guardrail, they were replacing the guardrail this morning. The state was, but we could see the guardrail. They were actually parked in the Cracker Barrel parking lot last night. And when I was on my way to work, they were where the truck went over. So
Sure.
they're replacing that guardrail. Yeah. The
Pikeview
state
Drive.
is,
Pikeview.
Pikeview Drive, yeah. And Mayor, I want to say I have had unbelievable comments about the renaming of New River Park Pool to the Sharon Dempsey Memorial Pool. There was an unbelievable positive post on Facebook, and if you wouldn't mind, Mayor, I'd like to read this. I want to give a shout out to New River Park and the city of Beckley. Seems as if all we all hear are negative and rumbling about our town. I too, this person said, I've complained from time to time. I've spent the day at the Sharon Dempsey pool and found it to be super clean, lifeguards who are kind but safe, and an overall good atmosphere. Who cares if an outside group was used for the lifeguards? No one wants to work, and naysayers would have complained that it didn't open again. Thank you, Beckley, in opening the pool. I want to say thank you to our council members. Thank you, Robert Dunlap. Thank you, Brian Christopher Brown, that tried, and everything that Leslie Baker did. I think that it shows that with our due diligence, we're able to have something really special for our city. And also, it's the little things that count. I got a call from, I want to thank Teresa Peterson Lewis for that wonderful post. Thank you, Teresa. And also to Scott Hill, who took the time. Jerry, he called me and said, I want to tell you, I'm so impressed that, yeah, we do big things in the city, but there's a gentleman painting the street lights. And there are so many hundreds of them. He said, it's the little things, the hanging baskets, Beckley beautification, and everybody coming into our city. And so not only are we trying to clean up our city and everything, so thank you for everybody. And Chief, thank you for everything that everybody's doing to make our city cleaner, greener, accepting to everybody. And so, I'm sorry, I'm on a little bit of
You
a...
bumped right up to the 3 minutes there, but.
I'm sorry, I had a lot of compliments
You
to
were okay.
put out there.
Well, the Sharon Dempsey ceremony and the unveiling of the new sign at the park was very well attended, and it was, her family was there. It was a wonderful day, and Black Knight provided some snacks and some food, but it was very well done, so thank you.
Mayor, I'd like to mention this Thursday at 12 o'clock, there's a ribbon cutting for the new Beckley Area Foundation building. That organization touches every one of us, every day. And it's so nice to see that they have a storefront that they can, and it's a beautiful facility.
It's wonderful.
And I hope to see every council member over there for that ribbon cutting.
Well, that brings back a lot of memories, not to belabor that, but you're exactly right. BAF is, it's like a lot of things in Beckley. I don't see how we ever got along without their kindness. Going back to early 80s, I guess, Jim Word, Alex George, Leslie Gates, and other community leaders were at the Armory Civic Center accepting, I believe, a $1.2 million check from the Dr. Thomas Walker Fund, which founded the Beckley Area Foundation. And then I had the, had the privilege of being the second treasurer following Mike Masinople of the BAF back in the early 90s, I guess. But it was Tom Smith was a CPA who handled that, but to see how that has grown and the good they've done for the community is remarkable. Yeah. Thank you.
Phoebe Tish and Charlie Connor were involved in that.
They were there?
They were
Okay.
there. Two
Yeah,
of the-
I forgot about Charlie,
yeah.
yeah. That was,
Yeah, I'm sorry, I've got two more things. I'm sorry, I should have
That's all
said
right.
it when I was speaking. I just want to say congratulations to the beauty graduates. I know Denise C. is here, and she's part of that organization. And Mr. Madison has done a great job being able to give a lot of the students at Woodrow Wilson High School some scholarships. So maybe one council meeting, I would love for them to come here and to be recognized.
Sure.
And I did have one more thing, and and I want to thank the sanitary board for the outstanding job that they have done on Koch and South Fayette Street. Mr. Dobson is very, very pleased, so I want
I
to
understand
just
Mr.
thank him.
Dobson was amazed at the size of that project.
Yes, right, he
They
didn't
moved a
realize,
lot, yeah.
right,
It's beautiful.
yeah. Mhm. Okay,
Great, thank you.
okay, thank you, sorry.
Sure. Anything else from a member of council under new business? Down to public comments. Again, we'll have a 3-minute rule. And we have, let's see here, number one, Mr. Earhart from 201 Granville. Mr. Earhart?
I just wanted to say, there's several things in Beckley that need done real bad. And the sidewalks in some areas are so dangerous. I almost hit a boy on Beaver Avenue a couple of weeks ago. I had to turn around and come back. Where you hit the first hump coming up Beaver Avenue, so many people walk up and down that road in the middle of the night now. And it's not lit up, but the guardrail on that one hump, coming from the top, it's the first hump. The boy stumbled on some concrete and almost fell in front of my car. I seen his face. I don't know how my mirror missed him. I could see his face coming down as I went by, and I had to turn around and come back to see if he was all right or if I hit him. And it's so dangerous on that street. Beckley has neglected the sidewalks. In fact, I don't know of a sidewalk that, other than the ones that got federal funding to redo, that has been worked on. And there's so many dangerous places that kids are going to get hurt, especially like the place on Beaver Avenue and stuff. You can't see at night when people are going up and down the road and they stumble and fall in front of your car. You'd have to scrape up a lot of stuff there if they hit them right there on them humps. But that's not the only place. It's been neglected all over town, very dangerous. One of my neighbors fell on Granville Avenue and got hurt, and there's no handrail or anything. He's losing his eyesight, and the handrail and everything. It's about a 20-foot drop, and at the bottom of the drop there's steel fence posts sticking up, so he would look like a shish kebab if they find him in the daytime. And a wheelchair can't get through there. All over town, the sidewalks have telephone poles and guide wires in them. You have to go in the street to get around them, and there's no lifts to get back up on them for wheelchair people and crippled people with walkers and stuff. All over town, it's been totally neglected everywhere. Now, and I don't need to go in detail. Y'all can drive around yourselves and see them. Now, the main thing I'm here for is the water runoff thing on, across from the city baseball field all the way up. And East Beckley, I really like the job they did over there below the Black Knight, all down through there. It's something that's making the city look pretty again on that end of town, and get rid of a lot of mosquitoes and stuff and trash that's been getting there. But the main thing is the night that they passed the code enforcement or the mandate for the watershed runoff.
Thank you, sir.
Is my time up?
Yes, sir. Yeah. You have a 15-second warning.
I didn't. Was that my warning? I didn't hear my
Yeah,
warning.
yes, sir. But thank you very much.
Well, Mr. Boat, who's the councilman for that?
I know you were talking to Mr.
Okay, Sarah B. Mays, Kevin and
The
Keith.
preacher?
Yeah, Reverend Calvin Moore.
Well, you need to talk with me then, because they cut you off when they
That's
get.
okay, I'll see you later.
I'll apologize if I ramble on, but I just wanted to make everyone concerned of a problem I had with a dog on King Street on May the 20th. I was mowing a lawn for a lady, and the dog left the house from across the street and just took a run and leaped on me. I have my legal options, but my concern is with this dog still being there, that it's going to happen again. I was told that it was an isolated incident, that this was a house dog, but I'm telling you, I've been around dogs my whole life. This was a predator-prey relationship, and it really needs to be taken seriously. I think it's been investigated to a certain point, but I just don't think to the satisfaction of the neighborhood, or actually me too, but I'm not concerned about me that much. I'm recovering. But it's just that something needs looked at.
Mayor, may I address that
Sure.
briefly?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I've spoken with one of the residents, I believe, where you were working that day, and the matter's not over. There will be additional looking into the situation, and if charges are merited, they will be brought. So I understand, and the city is not just overlooking what did take place.
I appreciate that. There was a concern. At first, I was told the dog had its shots. It did not. We had that period. One thing, I know a couple of you here, I think, I know, but the way this is being taken care of, it just doesn't seem like it was as serious as what the matter really was. But I would appreciate if someone or somebody would take a little more serious look at it. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you. Then we'll say that the City of Beckley and Raleigh County Commission is currently working together on basically a better animal shelter situation. That's been a big part of our problem right now. The animal shelter is so booked up. It's a no-kill shelter, which is fine, but they're so booked up that they're not able to take the problem animals, mostly dogs, that come in. So I think we'll hear more pretty soon about a joint partnership between the city and the county commission that will likely culminate in another animal shelter. But you're right, it is, and I think I was alerted about a month ago by a neighbor in that same area. I used to, the first house we bought was on King Street, 112, so I'm very familiar with that street. But I was alerted about a month ago by what the caller thought were 3 pit bulls roaming that general neighborhood on Queen and King and Lewis Street. And I made several passes through there. I alerted the police department, who also took a look. We didn't see anything, so I guess they moved on. But we are concerned, and appreciate you bringing that to our attention this evening.
I appreciate your concern too,
Yeah.
and it's going to be looked into a little bit further.
Very good. Thank you, sir. Did anybody else who had signed in under that name want to speak?
Do I have to go up there or just can I?
No, you can stay there if you
I just
prefer.
want to say, this is my friend Pat Withers. She's an AKC certified dog evaluator, and she agrees wholeheartedly with Kevin's assessment of that dog attack. It was not a dog bite. It was a lot more serious than that. The dog, and it was very intent. It went after an elderly lady first
across the street. She
Yeah.
was happened to be near enough to her car to where she was able to get in her car and come, and then it spun around and spotted him with his back turned mowing the grass and jumped up and knocked him to the ground.
Wow.
Fought with him, rolled into a shrub bed, just vicious. And we are all dog lovers. I mean,
Yeah.
but this is a dangerous, dangerous dog.
Well, it's-
And it has there's no fence, there's nobody, there's nobody, owner taking responsibility for keeping it on a leash. There's no.
Do you know the house number, the
107.
107? So that's on the left going down.
Sir?
It's on the left side of the street going down
On the
King
left
Street,
side,
yeah.
right. It was on, the dog came from 107, I was on 106. It first went to 105 to a lady that somewhere or another, she deterred it with her car door, and then it just turned and,
Yeah.
I'm not the best witness for it. She is. She's on vacation. She just left yesterday. She said she was going to come tonight, but I
Okay.
changed.
But I think if it had been someone smaller, like even myself, but he's a big guy.
Yeah.
It would have been a lot worse.
Sure.
It just did not, there was a guy that grabbed him by the collar that got him off of me. And I really appreciate it, don't even know his name.
You don't?
But he took it back to the house.
Yeah. Well, we'll certainly follow up on that.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks, Mayor, because we've been having the same problem on Kennedy Street with a lot of complaints about
Right.
a pack of dogs there too. So if we can work out something with the Raleigh County Commission, that would be great.
We had a brief meeting today, and then have another one planned for no later than next week to keep this moving.
Okay.
How do we get some type of record of the resolution if y'all are going to do something?
Well, I would say that we'll ask our police department to investigate. I would think, Chief, maybe talk to the owner of the dog at 107.
Right.
Would that be proper, Chief?
I had went to the city police to file a report, but they told me since animal control had it, there was no sense in them doing it.
Well, and that's the way it has been until just recently. It is animal control's responsibility, but if animal control unfortunately now picks up a troubled dog or a nuisance dog, the shelter can't accept it. So it puts us a little bit between a rock and a hard place at this point, but we're going to get through it. We'll follow up on it. Thank you. Joe Moorfield. Joe has a busy week coming up. We're going to hear about it.
Thought I would bring up some of the events that are coming up. I sent you guys an email. You said it's Flag Day. It's also another full moon, so there's a walk this evening. Anybody wants to walk or ride on the McManus Trail, it'll start in about an hour. It's always a nice time. We started the Fridays in the park, but the one thing I wanted to mention tonight was the big car show coming up this weekend. We have the Antique Automobile Club of America that selected Beckley for their Eastern Spring National Car Show. 150 cars are pre-registered, and it's going to be a long, busy day Saturday. They're actually coming in on Thursday and going to the dramas on Friday, and Saturday's the big day, though, so we'll be blocking the streets off at 7 a.m. in the morning or probably a little earlier, and they start lining up between 7 and 10. And it's not like a regular lineup. They have assigned spots by category. So we'll be out there Friday evening kind of marking where everybody goes. We've got several vendors. We've got George Whitaker and Dave Runyon performing. And so the car show time will be from like 11 to 3. If you guys want to come up, I encourage you to do that. And that's all. I just wanted to
be
make
fun.
sure
You've
that
had
you know about it.
We've had some great events.
Billy ordered some challenge coins that
Right.
we're giving them all that has the city logo on it, and so hopefully you can pass those out about 11. We won't ask you to be there at 7 o'clock as each of them come in.
Me as a
That's nice
person
of you.
who owns a business uptown, Miss Moorfield's energies have just been unmatched. She's going to every one of the uptown businesses. She's handing out flyers, she's asking us to put things in windows, she's making sure that our customers know what hard work the city's exacting. So thank you so much. Ms.
Yeah, we're hoping a lot of the businesses will be open, and like I said, we've got some extra vendors as well, and so so far the weather's looking good, so let's hope we have a great weekend and we shine for all these folks coming in.
Right.
Thanks.
Jill's the energizer bunny for sure. Thank you.
Mayor, I will say is, you know, being a car guy, these cars are unlike many that you see at a normal car show. The high point of them is authenticity. So these are like they came off the block.
Be darned.
And I went to a show not too long ago up the Greenbrier, and a lot of those cars, they're members of this club.
Okay.
And, you know, when you have a car that only 6 were made, that's the caliber of these cars. They're very impeccable, down to the point where if you had cloth-covered spark plug wires, you can replace them. But if they're, to put them back, they have to be cloth-covered spark plug wires. So everything has to be authentic. And when you get into a car where there may have only been 5 or 6 made, it's not like you're going to go out to O'Reilly's and find a part for it. So, but these, you know, these guys, men and women, have a labor of love for these vehicles and keeping them in that shape. And so I encourage everybody just to go up and check these out, because you might want to take you an extra mask to keep your jaw up, because it's going to drop when you see some of these. They're beautiful.
Judges that are coming into town as there are.
Yeah, and because these things, I mean, they are, they're judged with their authenticity. If you've got the wrong hose clamp or the wrong light, but I mean, it's neat.
That's pretty serious.
It's very serious.
I'm looking
Yep.
forward to it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Great, great. Thank you. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Kevin. Kelly Elkins.
As my days come to a close, I wanted to thank the mayor and common council for allowing me to serve on the Beckley City Human Rights Commission. It was an honor for me to give 6 years of my life and my knowledge with individuals with disabilities and put it to use and do some good in the community. So I'm excited that, you know, starting, I guess, Saturday, I will be taking my seat on the West Virginia Executive Committee. Thank you. And thank you for everybody who voted for me. But I get to spread my wings out and do something statewide and leave my footprint there. So I appreciate everything and all the support that city gave me as a new, fresh, young, snot-nosed kid who now gets to turn it around and make a difference statewide.
You did a great job on the commission, and you certainly did a great job at the center there on Prince Street, and the years you were there. Made a big impact, I think, so thank you.
Thank you so much. And just another event, next Tuesday, which is June 21st, the Beckley Rotary Club, Rotary After Hours, we're going to be meeting at McManus Trail, and we're collecting food for our blessing boxes. So we're at 8:00 p.m., we're going to do an evening stroll and just get out, exercise a little bit, and then we're going to load up a few of our blessing boxes, which some of our Students Against Destructive Decisions, they're teaming up with the Beckley Rotary Club, and they're going to be joining us for the walk and loading some of the blessing boxes.
That's wonderful. Yeah. Kelly, thank you for all you do and all you have done.
Thank you.
Anything else for the good of the cause? If not, do we have a motion to adjourn? So moved. We stand adjourned.
Online.
Oh, I'm sorry. Whoa. Amy, do we have anybody signed up?
Reading the thing, you gotta read the thing.
Oh, this thing.
Carnac. Carnac. Where's the mason jar?
It's been in a mason jar on Funkin' Wagnall's porch.
Since noon Friday.
Okay, for public comments, if those calling in by phone, if you'll dial *3 to raise your hand and be recognized. If connected by a computer, click the hand icon on your participants panel. And we'll wait now for Amy to.
He doesn't know who Carson is.
Don't have anybody? Okay. With that, did we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay, Mr. Thank you.